Hello, I am Jamie Buckland with the West Virginia Pew Families United for Education and joined today by Grayson from the Art of Problem Solving. Thanks so much for carving out time to talk with us today. I'm excited to learn more about the work that you guys are doing. But to get started, I wondered if you would share with us how you got started with the art of problem solving. You guys offer math and science. So were you a math geek in school? Has this always been a passion for you?
Yes, I would say so. I use that term affectionately. A lot of my colleagues do
Much.
here. Geek culture in full effect over here at AoPS. I've always been interested in STEM. I actually have an undergraduate bio degree. I, at one point, wanted to be a veterinarian, but I've always loved math and science and all things related to that. I really have a passion for education, as do so many people that I work with here. Life took me away from veterinary medicine and more towards educational sciences and just serving students really all over to meet them where they're at.
When I was first introduced to your work, it was just about 2 years ago, and I needed to learn about Beast Academy and art of problem solving. So just kind of tell us, who do you serve? Who are the families that you are looking to serve with the products and the services that you provide?
Absolutely. Our mission here, and this really is the guiding light for everything that we do, is to discover, inspire, and train the great problem solvers of the next generation. We believe the best way to do that, to teach that 21st century skill set of problem solving, critical thinking, and creative reasoning, is through the subject of mathematics. What we've strived to do are create K-12 resources, everything from textbooks, software, online courses, you name it, that really show a different side of math for students where they can be challenged and engaged while building these skills, helping them just become better thinkers, period, not just learning how to memorize a bunch of stuff to do well on a math test. I would say that who we are for is really anyone who is intellectually curious, who loves a challenge, loves to be engaged, loves puzzles, critical thinking, problem solving, and who might just like math as well, math and science. Those students exist everywhere. One of the other things that we do, particularly with Beast Academy, which is our elementary math curriculum, can serve two purposes. One, meet students who are like that where they are already, the mathy student, the student who really enjoys problem solving and critical thinking. We can provide for them a challenge that they might not find anywhere else. But because Beast Academy skews so young, what we believe Beast Academy is truly capable of is creating math people. So lighting that initial fire in someone to help them become a lifelong learner and begin to enjoy critical thinking and problem solving through the subject of mathematics.
How do you guys do that? I know that you offer curriculum for schools, even. So it's not just families. So tell us a little bit about the Beast Academy as elementary. Break that down for us on how you serve your families and your schools.
I'll start with Beast. So Beast Academy, there's really like three implementation options. We have a books only approach for the tactile learner that maybe you've been inundated with online and digital learning. So you just want to learn out of old school books. Great. We've got that. We do have a full complete online program as well, or like a blended learning solution where you're kind of doing both. Any of those three can be and are used by not only individual families all over the country, but also thousands of schools all over the country as well. So we can work with everybody, whether you're a student in a school or you're a homeschool student, anything in between, we can work with you. We do work with you already. Now, when it comes to how we do it, I just want to add this little geeky note about like why Beast Academy is special. For those of you who aren't familiar, go to beastacademy.com and check us out because our textbooks don't look like traditional elementary math textbooks, which are structured more like a cookbook, right? Here's a problem. Here's how you solve it. Here's a worksheet with 20 problems that look just like that. Move on to the next thing. Not with us. Instead, our textbooks are reimagined textbooks. So they're structured as graphic novels. So we do this very intentionally because we want math to not only be challenging, but we want it to be fun and engaging and exciting for students. You could develop the best math curriculum in the world, and it won't matter if students aren't excited to be there, if they're not excited to learn and excited to do it. So we wanted to make sure that we were checking those boxes. But the pedagogical reasons behind this are when you introduce mathematical topics and concepts to students, as we've done in those books, in other words, by way of conversation, it allows us to go a lot deeper. So students can have a window into mathematical modeling, dialogue, problem solving, collaboration, these kinds of things. So start to think of math not as this black and white, right or wrong, this or that discipline, but instead start to think of math more the way that a mathematician might, right? For all of the art and beauty that it has, the gray area, the nuance, that it's okay to look at a problem and not know how to solve it at first, because you're going to begin to learn to love that journey of like trying and tinkering and ultimately persevering and figuring it out. And I should say that it's not just Beast Academy that does that. We do that in everything that we make, but Beast Academy is special in that regard because very few elementary resources for students in home or in schools have been intentionally that way prior to our introducing Beast into the world. So it's really taken off in that regard. After you finish Beast Academy level 5, you will be ready for Art of Problem Solving pre-algebra. Similar to Beast, we have a variety of options for you there. Again, we work with schools, students in home, everything in between. So we have a full and complete series of textbooks that are all proprietary. They've been developed in-house, our problems, our methods, our pedagogy, pre-algebra through calculus, plus a number of subjects that you wouldn't typically find offered in schools. But again, as math geeks, that probably shouldn't be surprising. So we do things like discrete mathematics, like number theory, counting and probability. And we also have a full suite of math contest and competition preparation resources as well. So for any of the students out there that are interested in something like math counts in middle school, all the way to like Olympiad level preparation at the upper high school end and everything in between, we have you covered there as well. For all of those texts, we have print and digital forms for each of those. And we also have full, complete courses for all of those subjects as well.
When I first learned about you guys and learned about Alchemist, I was impressed with this software that helps as a supplement for families who are looking for something in addition to your curriculum. Could you just tell us a little bit about that and how it can serve a learner?
Alchemist is our proprietary adaptive learning platform that you can access on its own, or you can access as part of an interactive ebook experience using any of those books that I mentioned before, or as part of our courses that we offer as well. So the way it works is it's a repository of about 13,000 to 15,000 problems. You basically get to select your subject, and then you get to select one of several dozen topics within that subject. So just off the top of my head, the very beginning would be pre-algebra with focus area of arithmetic and addition. Let's say you're in that section. Alchemist is going to spit out a random problem to you of a random difficulty level within that focus area. Now, if a student gets that question right, Alchemist is going to stay within that area, but ask them something slightly more challenging. On the flip side, if the student got that wrong, it would still stay within that area, but ask them something slightly less challenging. And then the idea here is that Alchemist is going to try and figure out, based on the student's responses, where this student is and what is the appropriate level of challenge that we should be delivering them. What kinds of problems should they be seeing? And the goal is that as you work through Alchemist, you are going to be developing your problem solving chops and your problem solving stamina. So you'll be doing a little bit of learning, actually more than a little bit of learning if you're actively engaging with the resource while you're progressing through this. Have I passed a lesson? Have I not? And then you can move on to the next thing.
I love it. We have families in our audience, of course, here in West Virginia and beyond. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, well, I want this is available in my state that may offer an ESA or some type of school choice program, feel free to reach out. The staff is fantastic. Their customer service is fantastic. Since I've been introduced to this work in the last 2 years, I've come across so many families that are just huge fans, very faithful, very loyal to the products and the services offered by you guys. And so I'm excited to hear today, in addition to all of the math, you guys now have a science available for the third grade level. So tell us a little bit about the science that's now available.
Yes, that's right. So we're just getting going with this. We've had such an amazing reception Beast Academy has throughout the country and even internationally as well, that we decided, well, this is such an engaging way to learn, period. Maybe it shouldn't just be confined to math. What if we extended this to science or potentially other subjects? We're not in the realm of other subjects yet, so we're starting with science. And so we've decided to dive into level 3 or third grade science. So we have our very first book out, Beast Academy Science 3A. This covers the first half of what a student would need to learn in third grade science. And then the next book in the series, 3B, will cover like the second half of what you would learn in a given year. and that should come out any week now. These books are tied to the next gen science standards, so it will cover every topic and concept that you would really want to or need to at that level. But again, true to who we are, we're going to do the things that you are prescribed to do, and then a whole bunch of other stuff that we feel would be really good for students to learn. So heavy on critical thinking, heavy on problem solving, heavy on engagement. And then we really made sure that we wanted to retain that kind of unique identity that is Beast Academy, to have really bright, vibrant storylines, engaging characters, these kinds of things.
Thank you so much for sharing all about Beast Academy and the art of problem solving. We are, of course, big fans here at the West Virginia Few because you've been serving the families that are participating with Hope Scholarship over the last 2 years. Grayson, thanks you so much for carving out time. And I look forward to hearing more about how you guys grow out that science curriculum when we talk again next year.